Well, today is April 22nd and I'm a little late here. I had a little bit of a problem getting the camera to work because it's been a while since I've done the video. But this just had a jam go through, and basically it is pretty much the way it was before the jam went through. It was the first significant jam. But anyways, this will be a baseline so you can see what the river's like now and how it progresses through the next few days, and hopefully it won't have a repeat of last year. Okay, I just caught this one. I was about to take a little nap on the couch, and I said, "Whoa, Marsha, look at that!" And we're early, and it's a fairly good-sized jam, as you can see. I'm gonna have to change my shoes. Marsha, get my smooth slippers there. I'll try to get closer to the rivers. Whoops, used the camera action. This is early, isn't it? My God. Well, better late than never. I mean, better early than never. Well, better early than what happened last year. My God, that was horrible. Here she is. My God, this is the earliest I've ever seen it go out. Full blown. Look at that. This is wonderful. My goodness. It's gonna get a little wet if this splashing keeps on. Oh, she's crunching and munching and groaning. It's going to slide out now and get pushed out by some stuff that's coming behind it. Although it looks like it's setting up its own little wall here, you can see that the flow is pushing out just about where the fish wheel is over there. It seems to be pushing away from the bank. So it's got its own little wedge. A little high water will probably take that out. Matter of fact, it's already starting to happen. You can see the shifting of this big chunk being pushed into the... This is going to go on for quite a while now. So the only thing we have to do is make sure it hasn't even gotten down to the end of the bend yet, but make sure that it keeps going. And the ice wasn't that thick this year, so it probably will keep going. But anyways, here we go, full blown. Not yet bank to bank, but if the water keeps coming up, it will go back. And you can see the dead tree over there on the island. That should get swept away if it gets high enough. So anyways, end of round one. Not ending yet, but this is round one. I just went in to get a warm jacket and coming back to the scene. There's my darling up by the river watching it. Got our binoculars now so that we can watch downriver. Yeah, it's still coming.
I hope it keeps going.
Well, we'll find out. You can see where it's actually stacked up right here by the edge. As a matter of fact, what you see, the concrete you see over there, is the old greenhouse foundation that got washed away last summer. The slough, which is right at the end of those trees, isn't even active. As a matter of fact, there wasn't any water that even went through that last summer. Even during the high water here, the slough was dry. That's a significant difference from what we were used to having, which means that the current, I hate to say it this many times, but I think is finally going to be pushing to the other side, because we've seen an awful lot of erosion during the water this past summer. Anyways, you can see the results of a little bit of erosion coming down. Anyways, I'll close for now. I shut this down, and then now that tree that I was looking at is getting closer, but the jam is about to peter out. You can see straight back across the river the water is darkening up, which means that the ice is thinning out. So this is kind of basically it for this time. Well, the only thing exceptional about this is that it was really early as far as the ice moving through. It's normal, par for the course. In the old days, we can remember standing at the bank here and actually looking up at the ice. That's how much jammed the river was. Of course, the size of the river then was probably a third less than what it is now, so there was less area for it to move down in. I just asked Marsha if the river was moving. You can see that the tree that we were looking at about a half a minute or so ago is dead in the water, so she's jammed up tight as a drum. Not a good sign. So now what will happen, it'll sit like this until the next major jam comes down to raise the water level high enough to start moving this through. No, it's not moving. Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, wait, we see some movement on the other side, but that's probably not enough. As a matter of fact, that tree that I pointed out on the sandbar, you can see is just barely sticking up out of the water. So, but it is moving. But as a matter of fact, we can see on the other side, hon, on the other bank, there's some movement going on. So it might. As a matter of fact, what would be nice is if this plugs this and causes the other side to start taking the load off. Anyways, all supposition. Now, nothing to do but wait and watch and wait, and hope. This is Thursday, the 23rd of April, and previously you saw where the river had jammed. It's still jammed this morning. As a matter of fact, I'm doing this film to show you that the status quo is the status quo. We're basically scanning from the downriver section to, if you'll excuse the sun ray there, right about where the sun is. You can see water on the other side. Well, what happened yesterday is the pressure from under the ice jam was shifted. The water shifted over to the other side, and that left the jam stranded. I think I've mentioned that in the previous video. Well, during the night, as a matter of fact, before we even went to bed, the river pretty much had increased its ice on the jam side to what you see now, which is everything is jammed up except right where you could see at the furthest point, which would be beyond the chimes here. That's water. The water is escaping around the side and actually opened the channel down the other side that you can see. But she's solid jam, kind of like a margarita time. So there's where the salvation is. It's actually diverted all the water to the other side, which is going to work out pretty well for us in the long run. You might be watching the beginning of this river actually changing from this being the cut bank to the other side being the cut bank. At least I hope.